Hi, this is Stephanie from stampwithstephanie.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make this card, and it opens up like this. So here's one I made in black, so I'm going to make the green one today. You will need 2 pieces of lemon lime twist that measure 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. You will need 1 piece of whisper white that's 4 by 5 1/4, and then you will need 1 piece of whisper white that is 5 1/4 by 8 1/2, and then you're going to score at 4 and 8. You're also going to need a piece of this paper from the Picture Perfect Party Pack. So to get started, I'm going to start with the 4 by 5 1/4 piece of whisper white cardstock. Then grab a piece of scrap paper and put underneath this. I'm going to rotate it this way. And I'm using StazOn ink. You can use any black ink, but this is one of the juiciest pads I have. And I'm going to start out with this character from this Party Pandas sale-a-bration stamp set. I'll bring this back in here. I'm going to stamp this 3 times over here on the side. I'm going to start in the middle because that will help me get all of these pandas on here as centered as possible by just eyeballing it. So next, I'm going to bring in the 8 1/2 by 5 1/4 piece, and there is the score line up at the top is just this little small rectangle. That's the top. Then there's your fold, and then down here is the bottom, and this is where we're going to stamp this panda. So I'm going to go ahead and stamp him just down here in the bottom corner, left corner. Then I'm going to stamp just the balloon part right here on this Picture Perfect Party paper. Okay. If you press too hard, the center, I don't know if you can see it, but the center part of that balloon gets ink on it, and then it gets on your paper and messes it up. So I'm going to do this again and not press down too hard. Perfect. So for this happy birthday, I just stamped that in lemon lime twist. So I'll go ahead and do that. All right. For this part right here, it says cue the confetti. I actually used another stamp. So this is from Picture Perfect Birthday, and I'm using the stamp right here. And I'm using markers to color this differently. So I'm using lemon lime twist, berry burst, and Bermuda Bay. So go ahead and do this, and I'm going to start with the lightest color, green, which is going to be the Q. And I'm just going to brush that on gently. I notice a lot of people in my classes will really go to town on coloring the stamps, and you can just be gentle. And also the wider line on these markers is the thicker tip, and you want to use the wider one, not the skinny one. So then I'm going to move to blue, and I'm just kind of overlapping these colors a little bit to give it kind of a gradient look. And then that's going to go over a little bit, it's not going to be quite centered horizontally. It's going to go a little bit closer to the pandas because you're going to have all this confetti that we're going to put on the left side of this. So that will make it balanced a little bit better. So next I'm going to use the markers to color in the party hats. So I've done these two in the Bermuda Bay. Found the brush tip works best on this side or on these as well. Just lightly touch them to the paper. You don't have to press hard. Use Berry Burst for the middle hat. And Lemon Lime Twist for all of the circles. Next, I'm just going to cut out this balloon. Going to use some Tombow multi-purpose glue to glue this down right on top of my stamped image. You are going to want to punch out 11 little circles from the Picture Perfect Party paper. I'm actually going to cut this off. Now I have a punch that must have come from a punch pack. I thought this was a 1/2-inch punch, and I think you could still use a 1/2-inch punch, but these guys are just a little bit less than a 1/2-inch punch. 5 of these are going to go on the front, and I'm going to raise them up with mini dimensionals. These mini dimensionals are my new favorite. So 1, no more cutting up dimensionals. I mean, I guess I still cut up dimensionals and use the sides of the other ones, but this makes it a lot faster and a lot easier. So I'm going to start with one about here. So this, in my mind, is supposed to look like confetti, going with the whole cue the confetti idea. All right, and now the rest of these I'm going to glue on with Tombow glue, but I'm going to sort of look at this, knowing this is the top of my card and this is the bottom part. I'm going to just kind of continue these along the same path. So this is supposed to be confetti falling all the way down onto the little panda down here. The trick to making these look random is to not only space them out differently side to side, but vertically. So I don't want all of these to line up quite right. I don't know if that makes any sense, but it's just random to me is kind of hard because trying to make it not have any kind of pattern. I don't know, it's just kind of difficult for me. Is anybody else like that? Let's see. I hate glue. It's the easiest because you can move these around, but gosh, I'm like a 3rd grader, maybe not even 3rd grader, like a kindergartner with glue. I just make a huge mess. So now we can mount these onto our lemon lime twist pieces of cardstock. Okay. So this might still be a little bit wet, but I'm going to fold the larger piece up and then this smaller piece is going to go back. Going to put some adhesive along that strip of paper right here. And then making sure everything is the right direction. I did mess this up before. I'm going to, I did mess up now. You want to stick the bottom piece down first. Just center that. Then fold this down, this up, and then you're going to just kind of look to make sure you are lining the top piece up with the piece underneath, and then press it down. And that's the card. So I haven't planned this ahead, but I want to make an envelope for one of these because this is going to be a swap card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the same idea of these guys, just on the back of the envelope right here. There's a little confetti piece in the set, so I'm going to grab it. And then there's also this little high, so I'm going to grab it. Going to use some lemon lime twist and some berry burst. I'm going to stamp high in the center of the back flap in berry burst. And then I'm going to take the confetti with lemon lime twist. Then I'm just going to color these hats in, the same way I colored them in on the card. So there you have it, a cool little fun fold card and an envelope to match. Thank you for watching.